getting into the energetic flow of the natural rhythm of the frequency and vibration of the planet that we are existing on. Hi there, I'm Jamie Bates. Today I want to talk to you, I want to share. I feel like I share this a lot. I wrote blogs about this. I've talked about this on my radio show, but we're getting ready to kind of go back into a down cycle. And so I wanted to share today with you some awareness, some insight, some information about what I have learned about being an empath, someone who's energetically sensitive, someone who is in tune with the Earth's natural rhythm and cycle. And I think really sharing this awareness and letting you know that, like, it's okay to function within the space of how the frequency of this universe works. So, um, let me back up here. So, essentially, in this reality, what I've found is that there are times where I am so clear headed and everything is in focus and everything is on, and I am just moving through creating, right? No matter what it is or what you're creating or what you're doing, there's a time and a space where creation is really easy, right? Then there comes a you have that easy cycle, and then there comes a little time where it starts to feel like you're starting to feel an intensity, a quickening of like a okay, it has to go now, like everything has to happen now, and life has to happen now, and everything needs to move right this moment, right? And there's like a quickening that happens, and then after the quickening, there's a period where nothing's moving. Ideas aren't moving. Everything feels like it's stopped. Everything feels really slow and low. There is no forward motion. Now, in the past, I used to judge myself really, really harshly. I used to have this sense of I have to be on all the time. I have to be working all the time. I have to be doing things all the time. But what I've learned doing this work for these last years that I have learned is there's this natural ebb and flow. Okay. So I'm going to have times where I am on it and I am creating and I am shifting and moving and doing and choosing and being and I'm all over the place and I am moving and shaking, and then there's times where I feel this intensity. When now I understand, and I'm not sure that I could really define this probably except for maybe the last 6 months, where the intensity quickens to a certain extent where I know that the energy is telling me that I'm going to go into hibernation soon. Okay. Now, for me, that means now I used to, let me back up for a moment. I used to, when that downtime would come, I would still try to trudge through, right? I would still try to be creating. I would still try to make myself show up. I would still try to, and not saying that I can't during that time frame, because sometimes it's very possible that I can. And sometimes that down period, I might have some really truly brilliant ideas, but I can't really follow through and complete them. So oftentimes I'll use this downtime to write. If I feel sparked with something, I'll do something, but I have to really acknowledge that when it starts to feel mucky and things start to feel like I'm hitting like a brick wall, or it feels like I don't have any ideas, or, the motivation has left me, I just acknowledge that and I release it, and I don't push myself to move forward through that. Now, one of the things, and the reason I wanted to share this was because we're getting ready to move into one of those cycles right now where it's going to start feeling like mud, like you're running through a mud puddle, a deep mud puddle, maybe a mud puddle that's like waist level, right? And you're trying to run through the mud puddle and you're like, why can't I move forward? Okay, now the thing is, number one, you don't want to keep pushing yourself through these times, because what I have discovered through these times is we are actually downloading the new information that is being downloaded and upgraded on the systems and structures and of this reality, right? This reality's matrix system is going through a massive upgrade right now. Okay, so during these down times, what's actually going on is the planet is receiving new information for these upgrades to happen, okay? And your system is getting upgraded as well. So that like feeling of like being knocked out or like, being out of it is really because your system is downgrading information. That downgrading is not the right word. Downloading. Your system is downloading information that is that requires to come in. See, the thing is a lot of these new energy upgrades that we are receiving are beyond what we really understand. They're like energy codes, okay? And they're giving us information about the future and about who we are and about choices and about creation and all of these things. And so a lot of this information is information that we don't know, which is why we might have like an idea spark, like we have this like really brilliant idea, okay, and write it down. Okay, just write it down because that's probably just something that you're downloading information about. Okay, write it down and then just leave it. Don't write it down or don't sit there and think it to death. That's a bad idea. Okay, you have to get out of your head as much as you possibly can while you're downloading information, because when you come up with like solidified points of views like, oh well, this is this and that is that, you're limiting the information that can come through your system and download into your system, because as soon as you start defining it based on your awareness of where you're at, you're actually resisting information. Okay, and key during these downloads and during these downgrades or downloads of information, somewhere there's a downgrade. It's like a planetary downgrade of, and it's not like a downgrade like we think it. It's like a, anyways, doesn't matter. It's a new download of information for your system. Okay, just get the vortex of that. Stop judging. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop sitting and wondering and making you very significant for not shifting and changing. And the thing is we have to get out of this habit or this pushing of I always have to be doing and going and changing and transforming and pushing myself to the limit. No, you don't. Every single month, you're going to have these peak times. You're going to have downtimes. You're going to have peak times. You're going to have downtimes. You're going to have peak times. You're going to have downtimes. Honor the downtimes. Know that if your body just wants you to sit and do nothing for 2 or 3 days, do it. And don't make yourself wrong. Don't loop in, I should be, should be, should be, because all you're doing with those shoulds is you're preventing yourself from downloading the information that's actually going to create you being able to move forward with ease. When I stopped judging myself during my downtimes, it's probably been a couple years now, really truly, where I've really gotten to the point where if I'm down and out for a day or two, I just allow myself. And now I only have a day or two of down and out. And I remind myself that I'm just downloading information. I'm just upgrading my system. Right? It doesn't have to be this like trauma drama. I don't have to feel really bad about taking a couple days to disconnect and be with myself and rest and be an allowance. And then bam, I'm right back to being me and creating, and I have more information, and I'm creating a new blog, and I'm I have my radio show every week, and I'm flowing again. And I don't judge myself for those downtimes. If I have a downtime, I have a downtime. I just be space with it. And let me tell you what, again, now my downtimes are a day or two here and there. Whereas before, I used to, I mean, gosh, there was times I was out for months, right? I was tired, I was foggy, I was overwhelmed, I was overprocessed, I was out of it. If you're feeling that way, stop making yourself wrong. Rest. So we're getting ready to go into a new cycle in just probably about a week. Today is actually real date, October 6th, 2020. Doesn't really matter when you're listening to this, but if you're listening to this right around this time, know that basically from this point forward up until we get to December 21st, 2021, every single month from about the 12th until the 21st of each month, we're going to be downloading a ton of new information. A lot of these new light codes are coming through on those time frames. Actually, I did the healing portal last month during this time frame. And my goal is to continue moving forward doing like a frequency upgrade during this time every month, except I'm not doing one in October. I have way too many things I'm finishing, and my body's already telling me, it's already giving me information right now that I'm going to have a period during that for a few days where I just need to upgrade my own system. So I'm just going to be spending time here in October. I will be returning back to that in November. So you can look for November, December, and all of next year. During that 9-day time frame from the 12th until the 21st, you can expect your system to be downloading a ton of new energy upgrades. Okay. And again, no judgment. And if you're having downtime other times during the month where you're just feeling out of it for a day or two, allow yourself to feel out of it for a day or two. Understand that you don't have to be on and on fire all the time. Okay, the less you judge those downtimes, the faster you'll be able to facilitate yourself out of them, the faster you'll be able to move forward with your life, the faster you'll be able to create something different moving forward. So no judgment of those downtimes. Okay? Shifting, changing, moving forward, allowing, giving yourself space. No matter when you're listening to this, that cycle is always going to be true. Those up and downs are always going to happen because we're upgrading. And until the earth is fully fifth dimensional, which isn't even supposed to happen until December 21st, 2021, and even then, we're not going to be fully fifth dimensional at that point. We're still going to have things that we need to upgrade in our systems. So you can expect for the next probably at least solid next 2 years, you're going to be going through a lot of upgrades. Okay. So you're going to have to get really used to that up and down, up and down, up and down, not judging yourself, giving yourself the space of allowance to have those up and downs without making yourself wrong. Okay, that's my words for today. Thank you for listening. And this week on Expand Your Reality, so even if you're listening to this later, I'm going to be talking about the energy upgrades. I'm going to be talking about sharing my awareness for this October upgrade, but really, truly just about upgrades in general. So if you're watching this live again, Expand Your Reality comes out tomorrow, but no matter when you're watching this, you can look for the October 2020 episode of Expand Your Reality, where I'm going to be talking about energy upgrades and how to get out of judging yourself during them. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.